Grab your tea, pull up a chair, and welcome to the lair. I'm Tabby.
And I'm Alex, and together we are the faces of Cozy Booktique and Dragon Lair.
And this is from Lair to Library, the podcast where we drag our favorite books to the screen to see if they actually live up to the hype, or if they deserve to get absolutely roasted by dragons.
And we'll roast them very
Definitely.
badly. It'll be the turkey. It'll be Tuck's turkey
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it'll definitely be fried. All right, let's start off with our drinks and snacks for this week. What has been your tops?
I've been drinking a lot of the liquid IV cotton candy.
Oh, I haven't had that one yet.
It's so good. There's blue and pink.
Okay.
I like the pink better, but they're still both really, really
They're
good.
just so expensive. I just couldn't fit it in my budget.
I was just getting, with all the heat, I was getting extra dehydrated.
That makes
So
sense.
I thought it would be better for me if I did that. And then I work in a dealership, and the dealership gives us popcorn, like in the movie theaters.
Oh,
I've been eating that. So I've moved from healthy popcorn to not so good for you popcorn.
girl. Sounds about right. Well, my go-to this week has been between water, because I've been drinking bottles of water because of the fact that my town was actually on a boil
Oh,
watch for like almost a week.
dang.
And so it just got lifted this past Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
crazy.
I had to buy a whole case of water, so I've just been drinking water. But I've also had, like, my Dr. Pepper zero sugar that I normally drink and my sparkling ice as well.
I have been having that Dr. Pepper zero sugar for dinner.
Yeah.
Well, not for dinner, with dinner.
Yes, that's typically what I have with dinner. And then my snack has actually been, I made these, my friend Kelly sent me these, like, kind of like make your own, because I've been having like a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to have like a crunchy, like, Butterfinger kind of thing, but it's like homemade.
Okay.
So it's like peanut butter, like maple syrup, vanilla extract, a little bit of brown sugar in it, or molasses, depending on which one you use. I just didn't have molasses. I didn't. And then you like crunch up cornflakes and add it to it, and then you freeze it. And then you melt chocolate, you dip it in chocolate, and then you put it in the refrigerator to harden. I should have brought one for you.
I need you to send me this
It
recipe.
was so good, girl.
Because
So
now I want
Oh,
one.
yeah, no. They were so good. I'm like obsessed with them. And I'm like, I need to make more.
I
Because
would love
they
to
were
make some.
amazing.
That sounds amazing.
All right. What has been your go-to read this week?
My go-to read has been finishing up the one that I've been reading.
Okay.
I keep wanting to call it The Things I Know About You, but that's not it. Because she didn't know these things about him. And it's been quite a ride. It is What Remains of You, because you already know this from the get-go. The man's dead, so it's what remains of him. Yeah. She's finding out secrets. They're pretty crazy. He had like a whole life.
Dang.
Whole life.
Dang. Okay. Let's see. I finished up my book of My Emergency Contact is a Wolf Shifter.
Okay.
It was good. I liked it. I had read some of her other ones too. She does a lot of different like shifters. Like I read a Bear Shifter series from her as well.
Bear Shifter.
Yeah, it was very cool. So I really liked that one. And then I just started on Naughty Ever After. Yeah.
Oh, it's like not like knots.
Yes, like
a
knots.
knot, like you
So
tie
it's
in a
an
knot.
Omegaverse. It's a hockey Omegaverse, right?
Okay.
And so I just started on that actually this morning. I read the first couple of chapters and I'm already hooked. I'm like, girl, you don't know how bad I really just want to go home and read this book.
Your hockey romances.
And it's Omegaverse. For some reason, that's been like one of my go-tos. Okay. It's just been, I don't know why, but that has been one of my go-tos.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I've been on a serial killer kick, so here we are.
Oh, man, totally.
There's no serial killers in this one, but
No.
you know.
All right. So for today, we are wrapping up the off-campus series. A little sad.
Yeah.
Gonna cry. Because we're
Because
friends.
we love them.
Oh, they're like
They're our favorites.
they're our faves. We love them.
We love them so much.
I feel like we've been along for the ride for the past few weeks with them.
Yes. Again, and after the first few weeks of when you got me hooked on these books.
I know. That's my hockey romance. Okay, come. There's more.
Yeah, that was a good one, though.
There's eventually more we're gonna do.
I was skepty. There's a little skept because I'm not a sports person, but
I know. You know I
she
am.
is,
So,
and she got me to read these, and I don't regret it at all. I
at
love
all.
these books.
Yeah. So we're finishing up book 1, Hannah and Garrett's story.
Yep.
We already know that they.
I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's ears by doing that.
It happens. We know that it's going to be an interesting ride after this first season because we already know that book 3 is now jumping ahead.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see like how all that eventually plays out and what they do with that.
Yep.
But today we are specifically just finishing up book 1 and the first season of Off Campus.
Yes.
So it is the final whistle. What
Yes.
are we thinking? What are our thoughts? Now that we've watched the last 2 episodes, episode 7 and 8.
For overall.
Overall,
In general. I really liked the series. It did leave me with way more questions though, because of how they're changing
Yes.
many things. I really like the series. I think they did really well with it. I love the characters. I love the actors and what they did with it. Hunter Davenport though still confuses me and bothers me a lot. But that's a whole other thing.
We'll get
into that. But other than that, I think they did really well. And I do really like it. I will keep watching it over and over again as I have been doing. But it didn't follow. It kind of derailed from the books.
It definitely did. Especially in there was many changes in episode 7.
Yeah, that's really when it started.
And then
derailing.
Things also changed. So it's like, I feel like when we start getting into the deep dive, we're gonna unpack some stuff.
Oh yeah.
What is your final rating out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd give it like a 7 or 8.
Okay.
Just because it was good for what it was in the time they had. And granted, it did derail from the books, but I still think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I still really liked it.
Okay.
Especially like I'm impressed with her trauma responses.
Yes.
Because they're so real. It's just so good.
So good. Because I'm going to get into that too. But yes, I 100% kind of agree with you. Like, I really liked how I felt like they stuck as true to the book as they could.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that we always know once like your book is becoming
I always know things are going to
change. They're going to do stuff. So we knew, especially when they started bringing in like the whole Dean and Ellie thing, we're like, okay, we're going to get more changes coming. We know it's coming. So it wasn't like a shock. We kind of saw the foreshadowing of it happening. So it's kind of like, I like it, but it's got me, again, more questions than answers right now because I'm like, where do some of these people come in? Where is
this going and how well are the next seasons going to follow the books? Because
things
it's completely gone. The train is no longer on the track.
Yeah.
It is.
So
it has fallen over and not necessarily on fire yet, but it's off the track. It's fallen.
Yeah. So we don't know how this is going to be rectified yet. Well, it's like season 2 for that, and I'll be excited to do our podcast for season 2.
It takes so long.
So long. I know.
We're so far away.
I'm thinking the same thing with the year rivalry, okay? We do so long in between things. I'm just like, I don't want to wait.
At least it's not like Netflix and it's like 5 years.
Right. They take forever. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that's Amazon and not.
When you take so long and you have to do 5 years later on a series because the actors got older.
Right.
There's an issue.
There's an issue then. I said my overall score, I would put it at an 8.
Okay.
I feel like there were some things I was kind of disappointed weren't in the series, like that were in the books. But I feel like they rectified it by adding some things that it made it work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I gave it an 8. I think they did a really good job with it. I feel like if you're a book reader and you've read the books, you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're not and you've never read the books, you can still enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
It can go either way.
it's not one of those where it's like
You have to read
you
the book
have
so
to read
you
the
know the
books.
context behind
Right.
what's going on.
So I'm like, it's very easy to follow,
Yeah.
not having that, which is nice.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start into the deep dive. So we've been doing a segment where we talk about book Hannah and Garrett versus what their on screen is.
Yes.
So in the book, at this point, she is standing tall for her talent, fully letting down her guard with Garrett, and is facing future completely on her own terms.
Yep.
So how are we feeling with her now, with everything that happened in the past 2 episodes? How are we feeling that portrays on the screen?
I like have mixed feelings about it.
Okay.
I feel like, because I feel like she was more, um, she had more like thought and like, I guess control of her life. Like she knew like everything and like where she was going and like what she wanted.
Yeah.
And I feel like she was more, I'm terrible with words today, like adamant or focused on that. And in here, it's not that she wasn't focused or adamant on like what she wanted in life, but I feel like she had more of a, like, she was kind of lost, like she didn't really like know herself. Whereas in the book, I feel like she was more confident in herself. I guess that's what I'm trying to feel like.
Yeah.
And I think part of that comes from like they were making the trauma more realistic in the show, which obviously there's
Correct.
nothing wrong with that, and that's totally valid. Um, but it also can just also be me like watching it versus reading
Correct.
too. So that's probably what could also give me the different feeling of that. But I think overall though, I think like 85-90% she was the same.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can agree. I also feel like taking it from the standpoint of like when it's the book, it's the author who's putting in the
Yeah.
feelings, and she is a little bit older, so the maturity comes out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or like when you're actually making the show and you actually have somebody who is that age portraying that,
It can be more
it
realistic.
gives it more the realistic. Like,
Yeah.
what would I at 19 do? Me at my almost 34-year-old self would be like, I'm thinking back to 19, like, it's like my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, so it'd be hard to like tap into that where it's like,
We can't relate to 19-year-olds anymore.
no, we
I don't
definitely
even
cannot.
remember being 18.
I know, girl. It's been a while. But so like I like that on the screen, like you're getting the authenticity of being that age
Mhm.
and her being able to portray that age and show kind of what the level would be at.
Yeah.
So I liked that.
Yeah, I did
It
too.
felt very authentic.
It did.
So for Garrett,
If anybody did not hear that, it is thundering
yeah,
outside.
And
it's about to be a tsunami like it was yesterday, except it's thundering more today than it was yesterday.
yeah, it definitely is. So sorry if you hear that thunder and stuff, because we got the blackout curtains for those watching. The blackout curtains all drawn to try to hide it, but can't hide that sound.
Can't hide the sound, no. All right, so Garrett.
So Garrett, you have kind of the heavy shadow of his father confronting that.
Yep.
Sealing his hockey fate.
Yeah.
So like we know what's going on with his hockey career. We saw it kind of default. We know what's going on. And then delivering the ultimatum, non-negotiables, declaration of love for her.
Yes.
Is kind of how that ended. So I feel like on screen, this is where they kind of separate because there were so many changes.
There was.
So like you see him struggling with the stuff with his father. Because like we watched the Thanksgiving last episode where like he saw the bruise on the fiance's arm.
He freaked out.
They left. That followed along with what happened in the book.
Well, in the last like couple episodes, like you can see like it really bothers him. Like he's scared that he's going to be his dad.
Right. And then it, like, oh, rewatching episode 7, I will be the first to admit there is a lot of times that I will skip over it when I do a rewatch. And I think it's because of my past dramas
I mean, that makes sense.
and watching like how realistic her reaction is to be like, oh my gosh, I can't. It's too heavy on me and my past. So I feel like that's why I skip it.
That.
But I did rewatch it and suffer through all of that heavy emotions
So proud of you.
for this. So I think it was kind of, this is where some of those changes came in though, that makes it stand apart from the book. Because like in the book, she breaks up with him because the dad comes and tells her to break up with him. Where in this, he breaks up with her because he's like, oh my gosh, you're scared of me. I'm like my dad. Like, freaking out internally of like, I'm to be my dad. Like, you don't need to be with me. You could do better.
And the stepmom state.
Yeah, the stepmom stage,
which is
like
crazy.
I'm like, are you kidding me right
from
now?
a similar situation?
Whew.
I found the screen portrayal of that to be more realistic.
But so just like that, and like watching him struggle with that, and it being him who broke up with her, then in the book, her breaking up with him, kind of thing, and just seeing like his side of it, how he like tries to just no, like I want you to like do what you need to do, live your life. I don't want to like interfere. Clearly, internal battles are going on, but also here's the part that pissed me off so bad: is the freaking hockey stuff.
Oh,
so that's when it all comes up with like him going to trial. And
if you guys don't realize this yet, Tabby here is the epitome of hockey knowledge. So not only did she deep dive, into the rules of hockey and the background of what goes on when this stuff happens.
Because I was mad because I was like, first of all, this does not sound realistic.
She sent me a whole novel of what should have happened.
Well, because it's not realistic.
No, it wasn't realistic.
From the beginning, you already know that he is basically signed with Boston. Like, you know that he's going to play for them.
He's already signed.
He was invited to a camp and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, in real life, like, when somebody signs with them, like, when they're drafted and stuff, you can participate in, like, camps and like training and stuff like you can participate in that. Yeah. You're not penalized for that. So it pissed me off when they're like in tryout or like you're gonna do that like for the fight. You already suspended, but we're talking about like the other issue. And I'm going, what other issue? There is no other issue. And they're like, well, you have the video of him. And he's like, well, it's after practice. I'm like, well, first of all, fuck that, because like you can already be in the practice in training camp. Yeah. It's before season started. Yeah. So they do like training camps. Like you see right now going on during the summer right now. You've already seen how like
in every sport.
Everyone is doing it. Like I've been watching the clips the Blue Jackets have been posting from their training camps and stuff. I'm like, and some of those boys are still going back to their college teams to play for this year.
They're gonna finish college first.
Some of them. Some of them might actually start, But they have the option. They can go in. If they're invited, they can go and participate.
Well, and it's encouraged too. Because if you're getting drafted, they want that publicity.
Well, they also want to see your talent.
And they want to see your talent.
Well, they want to see.
Yes, but I mean, like,
performing.
The schools want the publicity.
Well, yes.
Because if you're going to like a big.
Well, yeah, because
think like if an OSU player went to Pittsburgh, like they're going to want. I know it's two different things, but I don't know.
No. I was actually going to go off that.
Oh, okay.
You said OSU, but I was like, I may have graduated from OSU, but I'm a Michigan.
Yeah, we're divided here.
I know. But Michigan actually did a thing where the university put out a whole list of all of their players who were invited to camps and like which camps they were going to. Because there were 2 players actually from Michigan that I watched who were at the Blue Jackets training. So I was like, so I already know for a fact. I'm like, that's all wrong. And not to mention the fact, you would not get your score like wiped away like that.
No, that was crazy.
They would suspend a player or like bench them for further investigation.
I could not
for a problem. They wouldn't strip you of your winnings.
That they took the entire season away from them for that.
Yeah, like all the entire
that alone, I was just like, this is a bunch of.
I was fuming at that point because I was like, first of all, this didn't happen in the book. Second of all, I was like, this is just ridiculous. ridiculous.
Yeah, in the book, he was almost suspended for like what, 4 games?
No,
He was suspended.
2 games.
2 games. He was suspended. Yeah,
2 games. But he also got to tell. So, like in that show, his coach had asked him like why because it's not my story to tell. But in the book, she said, "Hey, no, I can give you permission to share
and the coach
this," and he shared it with the coach of what happened.
Yeah.
But also, that just gets into all.
So many things.
We'll get into that later.
Yes, we're derailing.
I know. It's so hard on my tangent. It's just okay. Anyway,
yeah.
But I felt like for the most part, though, for the rest of it, like it followed along with the changes. It still kind of had the same effect.
Yeah,
that needed to be there.
Yeah.
All right. So for the last part of this, we've been talking about like how basically the book has lived up to the screen. So with the book blueprints, wow, I can't talk today. Book blueprints.
I can't either. If it makes you feel.
You get the shift there from like simply just tutoring, playing like fake dating, kind of like trying to make someone jealous, into like the actual rock solid real world partnership. And I feel like that kind of portrayed the same on the screen.
Yeah.
Like I felt like that part of the aspects of like what was going on in the book, they changed some things, but I feel like behind the root of everything that was supposed to be going on in the layout was the same.
Yeah.
They just changed some of the contents to get to them.
Yes.
So I feel
which was expected anyway.
Well, yeah.
Because, book to screen.
Right. So
but,
I feel like they did a good job at that. They just, All right. Let's get in a little more deep into some of these. So here's a question for you that you're going to answer. Did the heavy third act break up? Do you feel like it got kind of the, what word am I looking for?
That's a good question. Because I'm not.
Did it get like the focus that you think it deserved, basically? Because they changed how it happened.
They did change how it happened.
Like, what were your thoughts on that? Do you feel like it got like, because I feel like it was an impact in what happened and they just downplayed it because it was like in the book, the dad comes to her diner where she's break up and he's gonna cut Garrett off. So she breaks up with him, and then you go through the whole thing of like finding out after the fact of like, oh well, he already cut his dad off as soon as he got the trust fund. As soon as his birthday happened on New Year's, and was like, oh, I already have like my trust fund to pay everything. Like you didn't. She's like, so I did it for nothing.
That was annoying.
I was like, oh,
I was just like, I read that and I was like,
yeah,
damn.
So it was very different on screen.
It was very different on screen. Going back to Garrett screen, book to screen, I think he was a little more different. I understand wanting to portray the, oh my God, I'm going to turn into my dad aspect.
Yeah.
But I don't think he had that as bad in the book.
Right.
As they made it in
I think
the show. It was more prominent in the show.
Because in the book, it was more like, I know I'm not going to be my dad.
Yeah.
Forget him.
Yeah. So him breaking up with her, thinking he's going to be his dad, kind of annoyed me in the show. Because I'm like, that's not even how it worked. But they also downplayed the dad in the show the entire time. Because his dad was an asshole. Yeah. But I feel like he was an even bigger asshole in the book.
Oh, he was totally in the book.
He was absolutely, it was like, I'm going to hit my kid, but then like times 10 on the emotional and mental abuse as well. So, and it was almost like there was no mental abuse in there. Obviously there is when there is abuse in general.
Yes. Well, I also feel
but it wasn't to the extent that it was in the book.
Correct. But I also feel like I don't know how many people caught up on this or like have read the books to know, but like they changed the whole aspect of Garrett's childhood
Yeah.
because after his mom passed, he talks about how he went away to boarding school.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because in the book he didn't. He lived with his dad, and like that's when the beating started. Like,
Yeah.
he got
Because
hit,
he no longer
like,
could beat up on his mom.
Halloween. He like, yeah. So it was like that was confused. I'm like, so you lived away from him. So I feel like it was downplayed because it wasn't as bad because he wasn't living at home.
Yeah. So I feel like obviously then changing the dad that much, you would have to change Garrett's mentality on that.
Yeah.
So like I feel like I don't know. I feel like the extent of Philip Graham was better in the book
Yes.
to show that
Although
he was willing to go to that extent to keep being the helicopter. My son's gonna be on a pro hockey team,
right.
and feeling control.
Well, and then you saw that part too in this episode 7 when
They're fighting.
The fight happened, and then he like comes upstairs and his dad's trying to like praise him of like, yeah, that's the whole hockey, and it's like that's not.
It's like it happens.
Like fights do happen, not in college level. They're not allowed to, but like in professional level, they still happen.
Yeah,
but it's not. They've gotten away from a lot more of that than they used to. They don't have like those enforcers anymore. Like you secretly can tell like some of the players. You're like,
oh yeah,
we know what he actually is.
Well,
but like, they don't. It's not like as big as what it was.
Yeah. So I think that I don't know. I feel like him going to Hannah and doing all of that, like break up with my son, I'll cut him off and whatnot, had bigger impact.
No.
No.
Not the way that they changed things.
No, not the way they changed things, I guess.
I feel like it had.
I feel like it showed.
I feel like
he was more
in the book. Yes.
Yes.
But in like the TV show, with the way they changed things, it wouldn't have made as much sense.
No.
Because he was downplayed a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
To be honest, I was like, because in my head, every time I see his dad, all I'm thinking is Van for Reba. That's where I know him from. So like, I can't see him as being like the,
I know. We
like,
started watching, I know, derailing again, but we started watching Shameless.
Okay.
And he's in that too. And he's a bartender, but he is like, more rugged. Like he lives in the ghetto with his girlfriend next door to the main people. And I'm just looking here and I'm like, he wouldn't be there. He should be at home with Reba and his wife. It's a completely different side of this guy that I had never seen before.
Choice of being a millennial and knowing all the different things and then watching this. Yeah. Like the younger generations are like, don't know who he is. And we're like, no, I remember watching you, bro.
I was like, you're not supposed to really know things.
The guys were supposed to be a professional football player, not hockey.
And
so switching,
not really have any smarts up in here.
Right.
Because he was a little dumb with Reba. But no, good actor though.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel, I don't know. It made more sense with the way they did things in the series, how it worked, and it made more sense in the book with things, how that worked.
Right.
I don't know. I am partially purist, so
yeah.
I have that going for me.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. I felt like some of the things like they changed. Yeah, they worked in their own settings.
Yes.
It was kind of one of those things where it's like, if you were a really big lover of the book, like you might have been disappointed because it's like, wow, they switched up even this part. Like, but it was kind of like in the show, I almost liked how they did it with him being the one who broke up with her. Because then when it came up to like the whole hands-off rule, and it was like, no, it didn't really happen. And I was like, yes, because he is our respect king. Hello. You can't, like, Now
I think about it, I think it bothered me that way so much because I feel like that would have had more of an impact, at least on me, if they made Philip Graham more an asshole.
Right.
Like he was in the book.
Right. But since they didn't, like, this had more of the impact the way that they did it. It's kind of like they were trying to play to the emotions of how they were changing things.
Well, yes. But I feel like, just in general, them breaking up that way with him thinking he's going to be his dad.
Yeah.
would have made more of an impact on me
Okay.
if Philip had been more of an
An
asshole,
asshole.
because they only show slight clips with the in why was I about to say implant? The implication
Okay.
that he beat his
Yeah. 'Cause
wife,
really, you didn't
and
see too
and
much
then
except for
later
stuff like
Garrett.
bruising, and then like you saw him washing his hands a lot.
Yeah, and then Garrett. But like his emotion
Mm-hmm.
and the way that he like, I'm gonna say helicopter parented, it wasn't to the extent where it would be like, this guy is a massive, massive dick.
Yeah.
Because like all you have to go off of is what everyone says. And when you see him on screen, you're like, this dude's like kind of nice.
Right.
And I feel like it would have been more impactful if he had been a bigger asshole.
I mean, that makes sense. Especially with how much emotion like was being portrayed through Garrett of like
Yeah. And I understand the whole like, honestly,
trauma
like
response.
abusers can have that facade when they're
Yeah, a
out
lot
in
of
public
them are
and stuff.
very,
But when they were alone in the hallway, his dad could have been a bigger asshole.
or when they were even just watching hockey on the couch.
Yeah. It was like he was like, literally, if he hadn't seen the bruise, I would have thought Philip Graham was a changed man.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. So it was like very weird, like in the episode 7, after watching all of that, and then like he did come off as more of an asshole in
Yeah.
the hallway scene where like Garrett's
Yeah, because he's like, oh, that happens, like fights happen,
right,
like good job.
right. It's like,
But also, I kind of expect that from a hardcore, I was a pro
right,
person.
right. No, I get that too. But yeah, no, okay. I don't know. It's kind of weird on how they got back together because I'm like, I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
the books. Well, it was like they talked that out and stuff like that. Where like,
Well, he had showed up to the her recital,
which is what happened in the show too.
Yeah, but they worked it out then.
Yes. Well, they did in the show too.
Oh, did they?
I think it was just a little.
What happened over time?
It was different because it was him confronting her about like the whole issue with why did you break up with me?
Oh, yeah.
Where this one was like, okay, she's like, oh, you came to support me. Like, he's like, of course I did. We had the whole I got the whole flashback of 16 Candles.
Oh,
She comes out and he's leaning against his vehicle. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like 16 Candles all over again. But, and like walks forward and then they like start talking about it and stuff. And I love how he's opening up to her and she pulls out the whole thing like he did like earlier in the show.
Yeah.
It's like you're showing all of your cards and stuff like that. And it's like, do you know a good tutor? But I liked that moment. I like how they got back together. I feel like they did pretty well with it.
They did pretty well with. I mean, it was basically the same thing. It was just, obviously different situations, but it was
so I liked how
the
they
same. Yeah,
like came around to that though. So that was pretty nice. All right. Next part. So we got some groundwork that was kind of laid out in these 2 episodes for the other characters as well.
Okay.
So I feel like let's just get into it and talk about that.
Okay.
So like let's start with Logan.
Okay.
So in episode 7 is where you see the strained relationship between Logan and Garrett.
Okay.
So, because remember, like, he pulled him off during the fight. But then, like, they had a moment at the house, I believe. It was at the house, right? Where Garrett could have opened up and he still didn't.
Yeah.
And it just made it worse.
Yeah.
And it took Hannah saying something, and I loved how she did this when, like, he wasn't allowed to be at practice, so he was waiting till after practice to do skating. She was there to record like the blips of the
Yeah.
thing to add to her music. And Jules is talking to her and was like, comes after and just does these kind of leaps around the ice and stuff like that. So she goes out to like say something to him. And they have like a whole sweet conversation kind of thing of like, you could tell both of them were in pain.
Mhm.
But then she makes the comment of like, well, something along the lines, I forget the exact thing she says, but it's something along the lines of like, yeah, what about the man on your right? Like the important guy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So like thinking of like
Your right hand
your
man.
right hand man, Logan, but also because like he's the center and
Yeah.
Logan is literally his winger on the right. So it's like then that key moment of like he going home and like actually telling him about what happens with his dad and like breaking down like this is one of the things we talked about like last that I said we were gonna bring up this episode as like you saw very much up until episode 7.
Mhm.
You saw it was very much like Garrett was Hannah's person, Hannah was Garrett's person.
Yeah.
They didn't really open up to outside people as much as we had thought they would. But then it's like now that they're broken up, you see Garrett's now like leaning toward like, okay, I'm gonna tell Logan, he's my best friend. Like I'm gonna tell him kind of my past, what happens. Like this is my moment to like bring in those outside people because we talked about you need more than just like the person you're in a relationship with. Like it's great to have that support system within your relationship, but you also need people outside of that to be able to talk to and to be able to kind of converse with. And
I feel like that might have been almost kind of the point of why they did that show too, because it was. Well, Logan still doesn't know. Does he in the show?
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, because Garrett talks to him. Remember that whole scene at the kitchen island?
Yeah.
Because he was like washing his tools or whatever. He's like, Tucker hates that when you do that, right?
Yeah. So like, I feel like
that whole
he had Hannah and stuff, but then like technically she wasn't there anymore. So like he needed somebody else, and I think that was the realization. I need to have more than just one person.
Right, exactly. Just like we saw the same thing with Hannah and Allie. Like you see, she finally has like their dorm room. Their dorm room's their apartment. My dorm room was never that nice. She was college. But she's sitting in like the window ceiling area and was like, I need to tell you. And she goes, you're the friend. It's like the realization of like, oh crap, she knew this whole time. She just was waiting for me to say something. And open up.
She was like, oh honey, I already knew that. I was just waiting for you to tell me.
Right.
You tell me when you were ready.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, we love you, Allie. Gotta love her. So it's like realizing like, okay, so you need more than just the person like you're opening up to. You need more than that.
Yes.
Which was like a really bittersweet moment, but I loved it. And I also feel like I don't know if it's like foreshadowing so much as like I feel like you get that feeling like when Garrett and Logan are talking that like this is gonna be now that they're opening up, this is gonna be the part where I feel like it may come into play in Logan's episodes. We're waiting a whole another season where like then maybe he'll be able to open up and talk to Garrett more than he did in the books. Because in the books he didn't really
talk.
He kind of avoided him, and Garrett was kind of like always like, are you gonna talk to me?
He was embarrassed. What's of his family? Well, his dad.
He was embarrassed with having a crush on Garrett's girl.
That too, but like like outside of that, like his wife, his home life, like he was embarrassed by it.
But like I feel like the whole first part of Logan's book is basically him avoiding him and Garrett.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Making sure it's not in the same room. It's like I'm wondering if this is going to be kind of what helps to open up to where it gets to his point. Of being able to like have an open conversation with him and talk about it. Which would be nice.
That would be nice.
Let's see. Who's next? Should we do Dean next?
Yeah.
Because I feel like Dean comes into play with these two. Oh my gosh. So I feel like his groundwork is not so much with Garrett and Hannah. It's with Allie. Where we see, I believe it's episode 7, after Hannah tells Allie like that they broke up, blah blah blah. He's texting her. I was like, let's like come hang out, like get together, come over. And she like crawls through his window, and she gives him the ultimatum of like, we need to sleep with somebody else. Like this is the whole relationship, the homework. you gotta sleep with somebody else. And it's like, this is where we're like, this is where more drama is gonna happen. This is gonna set up something for season 2 because you know they gotta do it somehow. It's the last 2 episodes.
Was so mad. Loki, well, it was her idea, so I also wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
I was so mad that she did sleep with somebody else.
Right.
But I thought it was so sweet when he was like, well, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't do that. And then I felt so bad for him though.
Oh my
the
gosh,
realization
why?
on his face when she said, I did the homework assignment.
Right. When he was like, I didn't do it. I like you love love. Like, I get it now. And she's like, then like I already completed the assignment. You have to complete the assignment. And like the look on his face, I was just like, the poor boy just had his heart completely devastated.
I felt bad. I felt bad. I didn't feel bad. I felt glad though that she felt bad. You could clearly see it on her face that when she realized he was in it.
Yeah.
And she had done the homework assignment. She felt bad. She was like, oh, he actually likes me.
Right.
Type of oh no on her face.
Yeah. And like, poor Bella being dragged into that and like coming over with drinks and why are we drinking? And I'm like looking at them like, oh, I walked into something. What did I walk into?
Yeah. And then Hunter walks in.
Well, and then I love how she like puts it, well, his sister.
Yeah.
Like, oh shoot, here it comes.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, I was so mad that it was Hunter Down for. I'm like, this was not anywhere in the books. This was not how he was introduced because him and Dean were like, Dean was taking
his mentor.
He was his mentor. He was helping him and he on the team and like he's looking on him to play on the team and was like practicing with him after practice on like and stuff like that. So it's like, how is this?
And then in the continuation series, all the guys that live in the house now are friends with all the guys who were on hockey team.
Because our kids are crossing over because we're getting that too.
Yeah. Because
Dean stars, I think the next book, isn't she?
Yes.
With
Logan's son.
No. It is we haven't met them yet because it's Jensen's daughter and the guy from Harvard.
Yeah.
It's their son, AJ.
Yeah.
So that's a whole
thing. But
especially because oh my gosh, especially because his son and what he did to AJ when they were best friends and what happened in the last book. Oh my gosh. If you have not read the second generation yet, you've got to. There's so much drama happening. You're just like, oh my gosh. Anyway.
But also in like the continuation series.
Yes.
With those guys and like the first book is Dean's sister.
Right. It's Summer.
Like
and
they had
Fitz. We haven't even got introduced to Fitz. And Fitz is in the books.
Yeah, he's mentioned.
He's mentioned multiple times in the books.
Yeah. And she had like a slight thing with Hunter. I
have to reread those.
Because I don't know why, she was like kind of like, I like him, but like I want Fitzy, but like Fitzy doesn't like me, so I'm gonna settle kind of type of mentality, I feel like.
Right.
And so that was the like close main connection at that point with Dean was Summer.
Right. And
he was never, as far as I know, never spoke 2 words to Allie in the books.
I think there was a part, if I remember correctly from my reread, I believe there's a part in the book where he talks about like her being hot or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it's like kind of pointed out to him of like, oh, that's who Dean likes. So
yeah, but like that was the extent of it.
That was like
that was it. So the fact that they slept together is weird.
And then Bo brought up like, oh, like Summer and
like Bo said something about
something about it, and I'm like, what?
So now are they like? Did they actually date in the series? Like, and he broke her heart or something, or cheated on her? Like, what story are we changing here? Obviously, the story's changed, but like, what are we doing?
We don't know where this is going yet. But yeah, no, that is like,
but
drama.
Dean's having this whole fuckboy redemption arc,
right?
And I love it.
I know, I do too. I can't wait for season 2. I'm gonna be so excited to see what they do with them.
I'm like excited that they
no.
skipped to book 3, but I'm also sad they skipped to book 3
Right,
because I like going in order.
Yes, I love going in order, but there's also so many things that happen in each book that kind of set up the next book. So I'm like real confused how they're going to tie some of those things in now.
Yeah, because they should have, if they were doing Logan, they would have set that up,
Right.
and they didn't.
No. So
Because obviously,
we already know it's
Yeah.
going to be
so and
clear
yeah,
as day. So it's
and
like I don't know how that's
derailing of storylines. So we'll see.
yeah, we'll see how that works out. Tucker. So I feel like in these 2 episodes, we don't really get a whole lot of Tucker.
We don't get a lot of Tucker. I think
Where
we got
is
most
Tucker?
of the Tucker in the last 2 episodes,
Yeah.
6 and 7.
So it's like, where is he?
Well, I know. Did him and Sabrina overlap with someone else, timeline wise, in the books?
With Dean and Allie.
With Dean and Allie.
Because of the whole thing that happens.
So,
Because she was sleeping with Phil.
Yeah.
And then that whole thing happened.
Yeah.
And then like that's how they kind of
Yeah. I wonder.
So I'm like,
well, I wonder if they're not saying anything, but they have actually gotten a Sabrina.
maybe. And maybe she'll appear in the 2nd season. We just don't know it yet.
Or it was towards the end of the 2nd
Yeah.
season. Because if we're gonna overlap people,
Well, because
we're gonna have to overlap
she's
them.
in the book.
Yeah.
Because her and Dean are rivals for the law school stuff. Like she thinks he's like that, gets his way because like who his family is.
When in reality, he's really smart who just hides it.
Yeah, exactly. Because who else likes to play chess with their siblings? Not me. No thanks.
No, I don't even know how to play chess, to be honest.
I don't either. I never played. I'm more of a checker person if I'm doing something like that.
Same.
But so I don't know. It's just like I feel like he wasn't as that he was mentioned, but it wasn't like he was as prominent. Like he was there in like the background.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of was in the background of the books too, at least the first one.
Yeah.
But now and then as time went, he got more and more involved. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. With all the foreshadowing, especially with the fruit.
Right.
I feel like almost I don't know why, but they've got to have a Sabrina already. Because she's just being introduced at least at the end of season 2.
Well, no, but
they overlap.
They overlap, so I feel like it have to be because remember, as Dina Allen goes on, he starts disappearing. Like, where are you going? Like, where are you staying? You're not at the house.
Yeah,
like, what's going on? And it's kind of like it's like more because it's like what?
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm confused about that. So,
but then again, we're also changing storylines.
Exactly. So who knows where this could go?
Exactly. Maybe they're going to end up overlapping it with Logan and Grace.
Maybe.
Instead of Dean and Allie. Because it seems like they're overlapping Logan and Grace with Dean and Allie.
Wait, because they've already
because they've overlapped Garrett and Hannah with Dean and Allie.
Yeah. So because we've already heard Grace's name at the
fundraiser.
So it's been like, okay. So I'm curious to see where that's going to go.
I am too, because I'm so, again, more questions than answers.
Well, yeah, because where does Jules come into this? They were not in the book, so it's like, how did they play their part?
They are a completely new character.
Yeah, so it's like, it's going to be interesting to watch what happens.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I'm sure once it gets closer to the season, we can start making some predictions and see if we're right or not, but
yeah,
we'll wait until that. All right, was there any, closing out this kind of book, was there any kind of iconic milestone moments that happened that was met on screen that you overall enjoyed in this book?
In the book?
Like book moments that made it to the screen?
Yeah.
Is there any that
I don't know, I feel like
you enjoyed
the end, like when she's on stage, I feel like you could just, even in the book and the show, you can feel that she kind of found her voice in a way. And she realized she could, she realized she could do it on her own. She didn't need necessarily like she didn't need Justin to write the song for her.
Right.
She didn't
She
need
needed to
tasks.
believe in herself.
Yeah, she just needed to believe in herself, and she ended up doing that in both aspects.
Yeah.
And I think that that was really nice.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
I agree. I like that as well. I think my favorite thing like that they kind of brought from the book into this was more the aspect I liked how that they at least kept up with tutoring.
Yep.
Even though they changed like kind of how it would happen. Some of those like scenes where they were like tutoring, I was like, okay, no, this is clearly like
Yeah.
goes along with like they clearly like updated it with like more technology stuff
Yeah.
added in to make it authentic for now. But I liked that aspect that they at least kept true to that. I like that we got the black bathtub scene from Dean and Ashley.
Yes. I need an extension of that, by the way.
Just-
Amazon, just so you're aware. I need them to say Winston
Yes.
at least.
Yes. Because he was a very good helper.
He was a very good helper.
But okay. Yeah, I can feel that. All right. Let's get into our layer roars and library scores.
Here we go.
So layer roars, the final changes made. What do you feel like have you breathing fire?
I don't know why, but well, first up, the hockey thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I went on my
We were really fired up on that.
I was so fired up.
Even as someone who doesn't know anything about hockey, I knew that all of that was a bunch of crap. And I don't know, something about making her high school guy the team captain.
Yep, that's
person on the hockey.
Where I was
I don't like it. I don't like it.
So, for those of you who maybe have not read the books and you've only watched the show, her person who assaulted her was not actually in the book.
No.
You got the scene from it being one of his friends who lied on the stand to testify against her, saying she was lying, was at the hockey game as like a patron. Like he was just there to watch the game.
Yeah, he didn't play hockey.
He went to school with the others. And she ran into him in the hallway as they were leaving, like at the front entrance of the bar, I think.
Something like that.
They were at the front somewhere. And then like Garrett comes out and like clearly sees something's off and like goes after him then.
Yeah.
So the fact that they changed it to where he's actually in this, I was so mad. I was like, why are we doing this? Because that's even more trauma response right there. I didn't need that. I needed a trigger warning for that. But also like the fact that he plays opposite of Garrett on the team.
Yeah.
Like they're both centers. Like what the heck are we doing?
Well, and maybe this is the purist in me, because I feel like it was an unnecessary, with my lifestyle, to me, it was an unnecessary change. But to others, I can see why it would bother them if they kept it. His dad was a priest. A pastor in the book.
Yeah. But it's not mentioned in the movie.
In the movie, he's mentioned as mayor's kid.
Well, no, he was the mayor's kid. Because his mom was the mayor and his dad was the priest.
Oh.
But in the TV show, they only mentioned that his mom was the mayor. They don't mention that his dad is a priest.
I don't think they even said the mayor. I think she just said mayor's kid. So my brain immediately went to his dad was switched over to the mayor.
No, his mom was the mayor in the book.
Okay.
And then his dad was the priest.
Well, then there you go. But I feel like the irony is there with his dad.
Yeah. I was just like, maybe upset. So yes, I agree with that. Both the hockey part just got my hair so like this is not real. And I'm sure I've been watching reactions of like husbands watching it with like their wives and stuff like that. And I'm like, I know a couple of the guys who I don't know if they're like beer leaguers or something, but they were talking about it too. Like after I like, because I went on my tangent with you, and then I found out I was like, see, I'm not the only one who was mad. Like that's not real.
Yeah,
like I get you're trying to be like authentic with the hockey stuff, but like then keep it closer to what it was. Because, like, what was the point of changing it like that?
Yeah.
There was no
There was
point.
really no point in changing it like that.
Except for to bring Hunter Davenport into the line then, because and they don't even really talk about how Birdie got hurt. Birdie wasn't in it as much except for like on like the bench.
Yeah, he was mentioned, and he had maybe 4 lines in total.
Yeah, it was ridiculous
Poor Birdie.
because he played such a bigger role in the book. I feel like, especially because like you saw him come over at Thanksgiving, kind of they're like, "Hey, it's Birdie and Natalie," like, but in the book, was it Garrett who had a scene with Natalie, was asking her questions about something to
Yeah,
help
I
or
think so.
something?
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay. So there were some like changes that I was like, oh,
Yeah, there were a few
why-
unnecessary changes
but,
of like why.
I still don't understand where it's coming in with like taking all of those wins away from them and stuff like that. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
in the book, it didn't happen that way. And
No, and they went to the final.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm so confused on
Yeah.
where this is going.
I was like, why are we taking this away from them? Because that was like a whole thing. And
Right.
now we're just not winning anything.
Right. Right.
Which then I think just on behalf of all the other teams, that was a wasted time.
Right.
Because then my brain goes to, who's the real winner then? Are we going to replay everything? You can't.
No. They just automatically, they give up their wins to their team. I don't.
So then the other teams would then automatically win if they're taking away their wins.
Yeah.
And then therefore, all of them should be in the running now.
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It was very like, that's interesting. Or whatever. I won't go on my tangent again because that was, oh, don't even get me started. But how would you score, now that we're kind of at the end, for the library? So, like, how flawless did they execute this? 1 out of 5 stars.
I feel like we've talked about this a lot. I'm going to say like 3 or 4 because I mean, yeah, they changed a lot of stuff, but it was still enjoyable.
Yeah, I gave her about a 3.5.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, right in between. Because yeah, like I like some of the scenes that they brought in from the books, but then it's like some of the scenes they brought in is like just the TV. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of I like the karaoke. I like the drunken Shakespeare. Like a lot of other things. I was like, okay, no, I really liked that they added that.
Yeah,
I feel like it was more depth and more updated stuff. So I agree. I'm right there with you. All right. So we have our final horde standing.
Who stays? So unfortunately, we already know Justin is no longer.
He is no longer.
Rip the snack.
Yeah. He's no longer there. But all right. So we have officially made it through the entire first season.
Yes.
So based on how everyone handled this, with all the drama, all the secrets, relationship milestones, things like that, I kind of have my final order of who I think top to bottom.
Okay.
So I have John Tucker as being the top at a 95%.
He's the mom.
He's the liquor. I feel like he would be prepared enough. I mean, we saw him handle the chaoticness of Thanksgiving. We saw him, even though just in his last 2 episodes, like he was still up there enough that like I felt 95%. He's walking into that. Especially
with how he handled Thanksgiving. I would have been on the floor in tears.
Oh yeah.
And he was just like, you could tell he was bothered, but you're like, okay, I can do this. I got this. I can do it.
So I feel like he'd walk out of that layer easily. All right, next I have Wellesley.
Okay.
I said she got about an 85.
Okay.
We had our moments with like our trauma response, but I feel like the being in a dragon layer is not going to always bring up that trauma response because it's specific to that one guy. So it's like, meh.
Yeah, and that guy's not in there.
It's fine.
Well, and even if he was, we would just set him on fire first. So.
Oh yeah, he'd be dead. Right away.
0%.
Anyway, after we got Hannah, we got Garrett. I said about 65%. Final.
Doesn't handle stress well.
He doesn't handle stress well. He's too much on like not wanting to be like his dad, so he doesn't want to use his force. But he also, like in episode 7 we saw, he basically blacked out.
Oh yeah, he did.
He didn't even remember like
he's like, what happened?
Taking him off and stuff. But he remembered it later, but he didn't remember it the moment he blacked out.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't go well for like you blacking out and getting mad and trying to fight your way out. Like that's iffy. I said Allie and Logan were tied at 50%
Okay.
for final. I feel like both of them, Allie is very much like, how do I want to put it? She's protective, but she's also kind of like in her moments after breaking up with Sean to the point where it's like, you don't know her judgment and how we trust her judgment at the moment right now.
Yeah,
Especially
she's kind of being impulsive.
Yes.
Because, she's trying to, find herself. She just got rid of Sean. I think she's in denial about her feelings for Dean.
Right.
So yeah, we can't trust her judgment right now.
And then with Logan, I mean, he is still clearly trying to find himself. He's still very much like, doesn't know. It's almost like he doesn't know if he's like super jealous of like Garrett and Hannah or like what they have
or if he wants Hannah.
Right. And he doesn't know what's going on with his hockey. He's just like all up and trying to figure out his life right now.
I don't think anyone knows what's this hockey thing.
And he's super protective. But I feel like he just some bad situation with that.
Oh yeah.
So like I give him a 50% chance.
Gotcha.
Next would be Jules. I kept them at a 45%. Because I mean they still are not as known. Like we just know them as being like the sibling. Know them as running the fifth line. But other than that, like
I'm kind of hoping we learn more about them next season, but I also have a feeling we're not going to know more until the third season.
Because probably not until the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they will be more, I'm assuming, a little more prominent.
Okay.
Because they're the sibling.
Yes. All right. This next one. We got Dean. I jumped him up to also be at 45% because of this last episode. We saw he clearly is hiding his flirts. He's also clearly hiding that he does feel things. He does have feelings. He does think, but he also can fight. Because when he went after...
Well, he also kind of finally admitted how he feels about Allie.
Yes.
And then when he realized who Allie slept with...
Oh, yeah. No, he went off.
He lost it.
Okay, so we got the smarts hidden. We've got... He clearly can think and pretend, and he could put a facade on to, like, be able to come up with something. Like, he'd have this sneaky little...
I think he could sneak around.
Plan of what's going on, but we know he can fight now. We know he can actually, like... He can get aggressive because they always used to play everything off like any other episodes. He's always like, oh, it's all fine. It's all good. Not big deal. It's like, whoa. He just bumped up points because clearly we can't get angry and go after things. All right.
Especially when you're passionate about said thing.
Yes. So I have one that I added.
Okay.
We talked about it last time.
Oh, was it Bill?
Yeah. I didn't add him before because it just broke my little heart.
It still breaks my heart.
But there was that moment at the end of episode 8.
Yes.
Where Dean is clearly going after Hunter, like hardcore.
Yep.
And you see Bo at the table, and it's like everyone gravitated toward Bo. And he like had his hand out and was like, everyone kind of got behind him and was like with him. Yeah. He's like, what's going on? Like clearly, it's like, he's like the big brother of the group. Like everybody went to him for like, what's going on? What's happening? Why do we? And it's like, I'm just like, oh. So I was like, I have to bring him into this. He's at a 55% because I feel like he'd be the protector, but he'd be the one thinking logically about protecting, not just going off the handles.
Yes. He is the logical voice of.
So I had to add him into this one because I was just like, oh, that moment. I loved it where he's like, had his hand out when like everyone started gravitating like over to him. And it's just like, I loved it. I loved it. So I had to add him into it. All right. Before our sign off, I want to go over like any last minute thoughts, things that maybe we didn't necessarily cover so far to end this episode, maybe in last minute thoughts. I know that last scene, like I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And I loved how it ended up like he's like, oh yeah, no, that's Hunter Davenport. Yeah, they're all fighting, and you see Hunter is trying to, I think it was like Tucker and Logan were trying to get Hunter, Garrett was trying to get Dean pulled apart, And Jules was just there like, yep, and that's your new starting line.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh
That
my
was hilarious.
God.
Oh my God. And they're starting off where we left off on season 2. So I'm so excited for that. To
So I'm
see
just like,
how this turns
oh,
out.
how is this gonna
And that
go?
was-
'Cause
oh
it's
my
just
gosh.
like, oh my gosh.
That was great.
Who knows where this is gonna go? The look on Ellie's face, it's just like, oh shoot, what did I do?
Right.
Uh,
And so many things happened.
so
And
many-
you could see everything happening in his brain in a matter of seconds. And then he was just off.
oh yeah.
He was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be definitely
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
To try not to hop on the alley hair train right now. I'm
You
really
wonder-
trying hard.
Your mom already showed her and got the haircut.
And that is the other reason I am trying not
So
to
you
jump
look
on the
like-
alley hair train.
You have
So-
the same haircut as your mom?
Normally, okay, I do have the shag, and I have had the bangs, not Allie's bangs, but I've had bangs. And my hair is a little more lengthy in layers than Allie's. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have like that full body. But I've been holding back, not doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want the same hairstyle as my mother. I love you, mommy, but no.
Yeah. No, I'm not twinning. Understandable. All right. Before we sign off, do we want to talk about what you can expect from us next?
So we've gone over our green flags.
Oh, yes. Our consent kings and our respect
So
kings.
we're gonna go into some red flags next episode.
Bringing out the red flags.
Bringing out the red flags and the illusion of
What?
yes, serial killer man who will kill for me to reality of like that guy's psychotic.
Like, what are you willing to actually put up with in real life?
Yep.
Versus going, oh my gosh, in real life that would scare me, but in the books, ooh, I'm squealing for it.
Yep. So we've got characters picked out for you, and we're gonna go over them.
Oh yes, we are. I'm excited.
Me
So much.
too.
All right. Well, that's officially a wrap on our first chapter together, fellow book dragons. I'm going to tell you next week. We're definitely going to unlock an entirely new world of what we're going over. So while you're waiting for that episode, remember, keep your blankets cozy, your TBR fiercely guarded, and your Dr. Pepper is cold.
Order that takeout and don't burn down the library just going crazy over your fictional book boyfriends. And as usual, buy the book when you walk by the bookstore. Don't look at your bank account. You deserve the book.
Definitely do. All right.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.